I want to preface this by saying I'm not going to make this overly political, because one thing I always believed in when I worked in sports radio is if you start bringing in politics, you're going to alienate 50% of your audience no matter what. You're either pissing off 50% or you're just preaching to the choir, and at that point you're not really doing anything. You're not changing hearts and minds ever, especially in today's day and age. So and we've seen that with one certain host, amazingly, who never figured it out. But I do want to talk about the Eagles going to the White House a bit, because this past week the Eagles visited the White House and people got pissed off. And then you had other people who got pissed off, even though they weren't initially pissed off, but they were pissed off because people were pissed off. And that's kind of the climate of today's day and age when it comes to the country. You've got the right, who love their president, and then you've got the left, who think they think he's the worst thing in the world. And anybody who dare go and visit Donald Trump, anybody who goes to the White House, anybody who goes to his golf course, what have you, immediately they get labeled MAGA. Immediately the left make claims that they won't watch. Conversely, immediately the right, if you don't end up supporting him, will make a similar claim. I want to give credit to Kevin Kincaid from Crossing Broad, who put out a very, very, very accurate tweet. It basically said that the left is going to be pissed off about the players who go to the White House, yet they're going to watch. The right will get pissed off at the players who didn't go, yet they will watch. And that is the crux of this. It's faux outrage. This country is littered with faux outrage. People that look to get offended. And by the way, it is on both sides. Both sides will tell you, no, it's them, and they'll finger point. It is the Spider-Man gif. That's what it is. People wake up looking to be offended. This dates back to people or athletes protesting the anthem. Taking a knee. A silent protest. That, by the way, I think this completely gets thrown under the carpet with it. Either people know it and they ignore it, or people just don't know it. The silent protest by Colin Kaepernick was started because he went to a Green Beret, a teammate, a former Green Beret, who was a long snapper, and he asked him, hey, I don't really like what's going on in the country right now. I want to do some kind of protest. What could I possibly do? The Green Beret was the one who said, by the way, take a knee. That's what we do when there's a fallen comrade. Take a knee. I'd be okay with that. And that gets ignored. That it was the Green Beret who said, oh, hey, this would be okay. Apparently not, because people got offended. And you know what they did every Sunday? They watched. Because you know what no one cares about? The coin toss. The national anthem. They don't. It's just the reality. Ratings have never been higher for the NFL. Ever been higher for the NFL. Every year they go up. You could argue about the quality going down, but every year the ratings go up. The Super Bowl ratings go up. That's the way it is. And at no point next season will I be sitting there on my couch on a Sunday watching Saquon Barkley hit a home run, bust that 70-yarder, basically untouched, like he did, 6, 7, 8, 9 times last season, whatever it was. At no point will I see him do that and be cheering and go, wait, oh, God, I forgot he met with the president. Oh, my God. I can't cheer for this man. He went golfing. Do I approve of it? Does it matter? In all honesty, does it matter if I approve of what Saquon Barkley does with his free time? Doesn't. Would I have gone and golfed with Donald Trump? Fuck and no. I am a lib cuck soy boy, as they say. As a right dripped out in red will tell you. All right? I lean heavily left. But honest to God, do I care that the best right tackle in football for the past decade went to the White House and Lane Johnson? No, don't. Not really. It's not going to change my opinion. Because at the end of the day, I can't get mad at athletes for not thinking exactly the way I think. And the reality is that the majority of athletes aren't going to think the way I think. They're not. I think the Republicans for a while now have catered to the wealthier. And the reason I bring that up is because who are really wealthy people? Pro athletes. Yeah, pro athletes who have like every reason in a lot of ways, i.e. like tax cuts, to vote that way. So I'm not shocked by this. You know, there's a famous quote from Charles Barkley who said like he became a Republican after he became rich. I'm not going to get mad at these athletes for going to the White House in April, when come September, I know I'm going to be right there watching, cheering. That's just the way it is. Like one of my favorite bands ever is a band called Brand New. Their lead singer got canceled, and they're making a comeback. They announced a tour, first one in like 8 years, and it's exciting for a person like me. And then you've got the other side of it, the side that wants to be offended. The side that necessarily forgets they don't have to buy tickets, they don't have to buy merch, they don't have to go, but they want to remind you, oh my God, I can't believe you're a piece of shit for supporting this. At the end of the day, it's like, look, I don't have to hang out with them. But I like what they do. I like their art. I don't have to hang out with Lane Johnson at the White House with Donald Trump. I don't have to hang out with Big Dom at the White House with Donald Trump. But I like what they do on Sundays because that brings me joy. The faux outrage over this is insane. Because I think I saw it the biggest with the protests of taking a knee and the people claiming, like, I'm done with the NFL. No, you're fucking not. Get real. You are not done with the NFL. You're never going to be done with the NFL. The NFL owns multiple days of the week. NFL season comes around. They own you on Sunday. They own you on Monday. I don't know if they own you on Thursday because a lot of those games are trash. And then later on in the season, they own you on Saturday. Like, get real with yourself. And this is coming from a guy that leans left. And I can't find the energy to get outraged over athletes going to the White House. And conversely, I can't get over the moon about athletes skipping. If I was on the team, I would have skipped. But, like, that's me, and does it matter at the end? No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, you don't really care that Jalen Hurts skipped the White House trip as long as he's hoisting Lombardis. That's all you care about. Be real with yourself. If you're on the right, that is all you care about. And if you're on the left, all you care about is that Lane Johnson's keeping them clean. That's it. All you care about is that Saquon Barkley is busting touchdown runs. If you want to make some kind of silent protest, don't buy their jerseys, I guess. You know, every NFL player gets a cut of their jersey sales. That's about it. Because you need to look inward and realize nothing is changing for you and your schedule come Sundays during September to February. You're still watching. So stop getting faux outraged. It's a joke.